Oh, I'll tell you how much I miss this.
This is my dad. If it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't ride bikes. I mean, I probably would eventually, but I wouldn't ride them like I do. I grew up watching him dismantle bikes for no real reason apart from the fact that he just was doing something on the bike. I'm sure most of the time he was starting to do something really normal and then just like it just escalated with most stuff. Last year, or maybe the year before, some time ago now, I made my dad's the Back to Future bike. It was a really fun build. It was some very interesting techniques I used. I'll link the video above and below so you can go and check that video out if you haven't seen it. I do suggest going to watch it. It was quite a fun build to do. It was from the get-go, when I built that bike, I knew it wasn't the right one for him. It was a bike that he already had, that he hadn't ridden in a long time, so it was totaled. So all I was really doing was saving it and bringing it back to life. He's ridden it a bunch since I made it, but he quite likes riding on gravel paths and even the sand, and with the 700C wheels on it, even with the chunky tyres, it's a little bit sketch. It's just not quite cut out for it. So for a long time I've wanted to make him another bike, but it just never got around to it. I've got plenty of bikes building myself and for projects and whatever else, and I just never really kind of like found that right frame, that right build, until I stood back and looked at one of my bikes. So end of last year, I built what I was calling at the time the ultimate commuter bike. It was a Scott Sawtooth, which will be on your screen right now. I'll also link that video above so you can go check it out. That was I think there was a little bit of a series, a couple of videos there. But it was a very cheap frame that I bought online. It was a large, it's steel, it's reasonably light, feels really good to ride, and it was just, yeah, it was an all-round just solid bike. And I think I remember actually riding it through London one day with the Switch bike conversion kit was on it, and just thinking it was probably the perfect bike for him and I should probably give it to him. So this all actually happened back in February or like March sort of time, and I'm saying that because we're all going to be riding in our coats shortly. And it's definitely not that cold now. But back then, Switch was actually nice enough to send me out one of these. This is actually their new battery, which is a lot thinner, a lot lighter, and pretty much just as good as the bulkier old one, which was mad considering how thin it is now. But I thought, what person would be better to test this out and compare it to the old battery than my dad? So this is the old battery.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yeah, quite big and hefty, but I must admit I was impressed with it.
This is the new one.
Oh, yeah, a bit. Bloody hell, I know you did say there was going to be a lot slimmer, but that's quite impressive, I must admit.
So essentially, you lift that up, stick it yellow side up.
Yep.
The other way around, logo out.
Oh, logo out, of course.
And just clip it down.
Ah, that's it?
Yeah. Then to turn it on, is that yellow button on top of that. Hold it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the triggers here will go up and down for the speed. You can see the power is at the top one, so at the moment it's on top power, so if you press the bottom one, it'll go down to, and you can turn it all the way down to 0 if you wanted as well, if you just wanted to turn the electric off.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's a little bit easier than the other one, I must admit.
Yeah.
I did have trouble turning it on and off. I mean, I would have got used to it, but that is quite finger in the right place.
It's quite finger what?
Quite finger in the right place.
Okay, good. Safety briefing over, we decided to head out and go for a bit of a ride. That was honestly like being a kid again, getting dropped by you. that image of you riding off into the distance was my childhood.
It was pretty good. 20 miles an hour I got there. I must admit, that was pretty good.
Yeah, great.
this point, what we thought would be a really good idea would be to have a drag race.
Are you doing a push start?
I have to.
Alright, let's make it as fair as possible.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready?
Up, get set, go.
Oh, I'll tell you how much I miss this.
One more for luck.
Ready, steady, go. Ah! Oh, you only had that time. I thought you rode 40 miles a day.
I don't have to race anybody.
By now you've probably noticed the very stylish new jacket my dad's wearing. Well, these are now available on saveoldbikes.com, along with all the stickers that we have, including some new ones as well, so go and check those out.
Like these ones, for example, the backyard mechanic stickers that I talked about in a video a few videos back. These have been selling like hotcakes. Thank you so much for these, and I've had a lot of comments about these on Instagram, saying the fact that it's mad that someone was trying to insult me by calling me something that I'm very proud of, and that all you guys are very proud of being backyard mechanics as well. So I thought that was really cool. So thanks for all the comments, and thank you for picking up some stickers.
At this point it did start to rain, and it was making me pretty miserable, but it's fine because this new Switch Air is completely waterproof, so it didn't phase the battery or my dad. He stayed happy.
So as you already know, this is your actual birthday present. You're going to get to keep this bike,
Yeah, I know, it's pretty lush, I must admit.
but you're also going to get to keep the switch kit as well.
Oh, what is? Oh, brilliant, yeah.
No, the old one. That one's mine.
Yeah, you got to get it back off me first.
No.
No, you don't know where I live.
So there's two reasons why I made this video. I should probably say at this point as well, this isn't a sponsored video by Switch. They lent me that battery just so my dad could play with it for a couple of days. This video is about other things. And those other things are, one, a bunch of you keep asking me whatever happened to the Scott. I built it, I rode it a little bit, but then it just disappeared. I don't really do a lot of talking about it and stuff, and it's simply the fact that I gave it to my dad. It felt like the right bike for him, it fits him well, and he's really happy with it. He rides it quite a lot. But two, and the kind of main reason I wanted to make this video, is why I'm so obsessed with e-bikes and why I keep making these e-bike videos. A lot of you who have especially followed me from right at the beginning of this channel question me quite often about why I don't mess around with vintage bikes anymore. And the answer to that is, one, I 100% do. There's plenty of retro bikes going on. I have got a shed full of them that I'm going to be building over the next few months, hopefully, maybe weeks. But there's plenty going on. But in between all this sort of stuff, I do like to venture into other parts of the cycling industry and the cycling world. And this story was kind of one of those things. My dad is 63, I'm 33, so he's quite literally 30 years older than me. And our cycling over the last few years has kind of dipped a little bit, is the best way of looking at it. I've definitely improved over the last few years, where I've been doing a lot more riding and kind of taking it a bit more seriously, where he's just getting older and the work he does just makes it just hard on him to be able to keep cycling as much as he wants to. The beauty of e-bikes and e-conversion kits and all these sort of things, and the reason I keep banging on about them, is people like my dad and people with health conditions and people that just want to get back into cycling after many years, or whatever that might be. this is a nice gateway into that. Some of these people will never be able to get back to that fitness again. So this is going to help them kind of almost like keep some of that fitness or keep some of that kind of joy. You saw that clip of him when we were having that drag race, and the pure joy and nostalgia that he had of like riding when we were kids and stuff all came flooding back. And it meant that instead of me being here, it kind of almost leveled the playing ground a little bit, and he was able to do the same sort of riding that we used to do together. And that's the most important thing about these kits and why I keep talking about them. I'm trying really hard not to like make this sound like a Donald Trump MAGA hat, whatever they were called, but it makes cycling great again. That sucks. But that's that. This is not going to be the last time I bang on about e-bikes. I've got another conversion kit that's down in the shed that I'm going to be tinkering around with another vintage build that I want to kind of work on just for myself, literally just mucking about on. So there's going to be more to it. But I do also have a brand new commuter that I'm going to build out of a rock hopper. No, that's a lie. It is a hard rock. People keep asking me about my wife's hard rock, pink one with yellow decals on it. That is also being built. I just need to look for a couple of parts and maybe a set of wheels. And then I've also got 2 bikes with seat posts stuck in them that I'm about to get out, and a few paint jobs that I'm going to be doing over the next month or so. Basically, my summer is all bikes, so there'll be lots of stuff coming on. Yes. If you enjoy this type of content and you want to see more of my videos, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. And if you can't wait till next week's video, feel free to watch this one. It's a particularly good one.